Hi guys, welcome. Today's video on unlocking your blessings and what's one thing you need to focus on in order to do that. You have four groups to select from. Group 1, Bloodstone and Adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Group 2, Cheetah, Agate and Imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Group 3, Sodalite, Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. And for group 4 is Orange, Citrine and Pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So go ahead and select your pile using your intuition. The timestamps will be posted in the description box below. Okay, hi, group 1. Those of you who picked this Bloodstone, what's the one thing you should focus on to unlock your blessings? So, um, I'm going to have to say that, what's already standing out to me is this inner child card and this Knight of Water. Okay, so inner child, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. And with this Knight of Water, I'm getting this feeling of like coming to the rescue of your inner child. Um, and let me explain what I mean by that. Um, I feel like, okay, so before before I explain that, I just maybe should give a bit of a background of what I'm getting. Because here we have the Death card in reverse. We have New Moon. You pick the Adversity card. And we have adjustments, listen to your intuition, rest, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Ten of Air in reverse. So I'm getting that there's some personal transformation that is what you need to focus on, right? And that comes in the form of your inner child and tending to it in order to, I feel like, clear out a lot of things, and not just doing it, at a one time sitting. This is something that's going to happen like periodically over time, right? So because here with the Ten of Air, it's like, a card of endings, the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change and expect things to get better now, recovering from addiction. So I'm really getting embrace the change with this, even with this adjustments, looking back, moving forward. I'm getting that there's stuff that you need to make adjustments to in your life currently. But it's like it's hard for you to pinpoint what those things are. And there's different layers as to why. One of them is needing rest, right? Like needing time to have rest. Because, and when I say rest, I mean, sometimes it's sleep, sometimes it's just relaxing things that you do for yourself, like whether it's take a bath, go for a walk, listen to music, meditate, whatever it is that you find restful for yourself. Maybe spend time with people that you enjoy their company, going for a massage, whatever, right? So because here I'm getting like the more you know, it's reminding me of this NBC commercial from the 90s. Because when you get rest, you're able to really communicate and like, you're able to receive messages a lot more easier. When you're go, 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 like there isn't space for you to really receive as much, I find. And I think a lot of people would say the same too. And, it goes with what's being said right here with listen to your intuition right above it. So it's like you need to be able to rest. Like if you're went through a period, like I find that, that happens with me sometimes as I go through a period of like go, 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 go. And then I have to go into like a heavy rest. It's almost like a crash into, I wouldn't call it a depression. I mean, others may look at it and say, well, you went from doing so much and then now you're not doing much. But it's this like need to really really recuperate physically, and then also I find that throughout that time it's like I'm getting that rest that I need and just able to recreate how I want to move forward, things that I would never have come up with on my own. Because at the end of the day, it's like if you have with this new moon, like there's a few things here, right? Okay, so with this new moon, when you let go of stuff, when you release things from your life, it's like now there's a space for other stuff to come in, right? And with this new moon, like the new moon is about like setting your intentions, like having a blank slate and being able to set your intentions with what you want, what you desire, what outcome you're looking for, and just like sending that information out. And I'm getting this sense of like, it having to come back to, so there's this element of focusing on rest and your intuition that's going to come through, and ending things, making adjustments, reflecting it. It's just like a natural way of, I think, reflecting. Like, it's almost like an unintentional, I've talked to someone about this the other day of like, you can sit there and consciously think about something, and be like, what should I do? What are the pros and cons? Da, da, da. And then there's times where you could just, let it go, and then the answers just come to you, right? But another thing that I'm getting to with what you need to focus on, and this is where I started the reading, and it's kind of going in and out because these things are all very much related, and I feel like there's different layers to it, is this death card and this personal transformation of your inner child and having to tend to it. I feel like there's this like, I don't want to, well, I'll call it like a knight in shining armor, or someone coming in to rescue this child that's within you, right? And that person being you, having to tend to this child. And there's things that I feel, when I first laid down these cards, and I had this feeling of, this transformation of your inner child, in the sense that, and this is going to be different for everyone, but it came up for me, right? But I think it applies differently for everyone. Here's an example, so say your inner child did not feel heard or felt like their feelings were not important, right? For example, right? It's like coming in to rescue that child and letting that child know that their feelings are very valid and they're very important, right? And then the more that you reassure that child and give it validation, the more that, your adult self can, in the face of challenges, validate your own feelings, and prioritize them, and let it be known that to yourself that it's a very important thing how you feel, regardless of what anyone else has to say about it, right? So, doing this inner work on your inner child is going to change the way that you operate currently as an adult, right? And then it's going to also help you when you're, taking time to rest, right? And when I say taking time to rest, I mean, you're not on the go trying to manifest whatever it is that you're doing, right? You're taking time to relax and rejuvenate and receive downloads, information on what to do next. Because what adjustments is about too is like being able to look at things from different perspectives, like with this owl too, right? So looking at it from a bigger picture, a bird's eye view, looking at, situation from the big picture. Is this what I want? And then being able to look at it from the details, and just getting different perspectives. It's like you're able to receive things intuitively. And I feel like with our intuition, we're able to perceive things on different levels than just, the details or the bigger picture. It's like we just receive it for what it is. It's like the essence of what it is. We receive the essence of what it is. Like, and then we know, right? And you'll get a sense and a feeling of if this is something that is for you or if it's not. And sometimes we can be on a path that we think is for us, but then it comes to us that this is not it. And that's when, we have to let it go, right? And then as we let that go, we have a new slate to set our intentions and make it more clear what it is we want, right? But again, the inner child work, tending to our inner child, is a part of this, because these things that are in our, I guess it's like in our, I don't know if it's in our psyche or whatever, wherever our inner child exists in us. Um, it's like, I will just say it's very relevant. And it comes out through when we are in situations of, adversity, or we're put up against challenges. And, it's, I'm having a hard time. Hopefully I know you guys are getting it. I just wish sometimes I could explain things a bit better. So, so anyway, all that is to say is that, your main focus or the one thing you should focus on to unlock your blessings and what you truly desire is this inner transformation of your inner child. That is the main thing. It's just, and making these adjustments periodically, and having the rest and the space to do it. It's like all of these things are very much connected. But the inner child work is really, really important, whatever it is that comes up, whatever, I'm thinking of automatic beliefs, things that you may have felt as a child. I mean, I'm thinking of different examples that I could say, like maybe things where like, things aren't fair, or I don't know. We all have our own things, that are automatic to us based on our childhood. And I think the reading here is really about, like, to move forward, you kind of have to look back at these things and, set your intentions to like move past it, and then also to like cater to that child. So then that way those beliefs aren't there, so that when you are in the face of adversity and you're able to change those things. Because sometimes I feel like the inner child has a way of like sabotaging us, for what we're trying to actually want, like, or what we're trying to actually manifest, or the outcome that we truly want, because if I say to myself, oh, well, my feelings aren't important, then, I'll be able to just swallow it up and not make any changes because I don't matter. My feelings aren't important, and that's going to prevent me from really evaluating things. If something's really resonating with me, if something's not sitting right, I'll keep it around because I'm not putting value in my own feelings, which is going to block my intuition and the messages that are coming in. So it's important. It's really important. So this is the one thing that you really need to focus on is your inner child, maybe your automatic beliefs, and just start tending to it. Start giving it things to let it know, like that, to validate whatever it is, right? And let it know that those things may not be true. And that maybe it's like almost like reparenting your inner child so that now you can step into like the fullness of being an adult and really get to listen to your intuition. And because this is a really big thing in manifesting too, is being able to move through challenges, being able to like let things go that aren't what you want, and to really set your intentions. And sometimes it's really about course correcting. Like you could say that you want something and realizing, like, like using the example of a romantic partner, since we have this card right here, it is like maybe you got something and you're like, no, this isn't what I want. And now you're becoming more and more specific about, what your actual desires truly are with this new moon. So that's your reading, group 1. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye. Okay, hi, group 2. Those of you who picked this Cheetah, Agate, and Imagination, this is your reading on what's the one thing you should focus on to unlock your blessings. So, with you guys, I mean, you have imagination here. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. We have innovation right here with new creations. We have Oshun, who is holding her belly. I believe she is associated with fertility and things like that. So sweet success right here as well. We have child nature. And it's giving a maternal kind of thing to me as well. I just put it in reverse. I guess it belongs in reverse. Anyhow, so what I'm getting with you guys, the one thing that you should focus on, I'm going to start with saying, so this has to do with your creativity. It has to do with, creativity that leads to innovation, right? And I believe that this has something to do with a service, maybe, that you can provide. Because here in the shadow attribute, it's tendency to abuse animals, people, and the environment. And I'm thinking that maybe you have a lot of ideas around, animals, people, the environment. Just it could be stuff like that. But the main message here that you should, focus on is sharing with waning gibbous moon, right? So this is after the full moon, as the moon starts to wane, and it being a time of sharing, sharing what you've learned, sharing your experiences, sharing your thoughts. Maybe that can be helpful to someone else, and I'm seeing, even in this picture right here, like this older woman and her being sort of like a mentor to this. That's what I'm looking at it as, like as a teacher or a mentor or something, or just having some sort of wisdom over someone else who's maybe just starting out. And I don't know, I'm getting like a strong environmental vibe with this, like a protector vibe from this child nature. I mean, it says nature right here. So maybe it has to do with nature, maybe it doesn't, whatever. It doesn't matter. But it's for you guys. I feel like the message is really about sharing. Sharing what you've done thus far. It may not seem major or big to you, but it's something that could be very helpful to someone else. It could be something that someone else could share with you that would be helpful for you as well. So to truly flourish is to release all the tension that holds me back from letting love pour through me. So maybe I'm getting that some of you guys, I just got that some of you guys maybe don't share some of the things that you've imagined or created. Maybe there's something that holds you back from doing that. And yeah, so that's the thing, is like you got to start sharing it in order to be successful, right? Like you have to I guess not worry about it, or just let go of whatever it is that's holding you back or that's making you feel off to do it. I feel like there's something that I'm getting with this up and down, like feeling really up and down about maybe the things that you think about, that you imagine, that you create, like that you've created, whatever it is that you're into. It's like you have this up and down sort of thing with it, where and it holds you back from really embracing it and sharing it with other people. Maybe it's an insecurity, maybe it's wanting to protect it. I don't know. But it's something I feel like you have to start communicating with other people and sharing it. I think that's what that's really what this message is about. Is for you to also, like, I just got that some of you guys are afraid of like standing out. Maybe some of you guys are shy. Maybe you're not shy as a whole, but when it comes to this thing, you're a little bit shy about talking about it. Maybe you feel like it makes you seem different, or it makes you stand out in a way that you're not yet comfortable to do. So so yeah, so that's the message here, is find ways. Is there another card? No. Is to find ways to share the information you have, the ideas you have, all of that stuff, and not to worry about, um, I just got being on display, like how this woman right here is is naked, um, and and for you not to worry to be on display like that, or to just show, I guess, a part of yourself that maybe you prefer to keep hidden or keep to yourself, for whatever reason it may be. But people aren't going to be looking at you in the way that maybe you're afraid of them to do that. I mean, if I'm just picturing myself standing up here naked, right? Like, I would think that people would be looking at me and scrutinizing me, but for the most part, they're just doing their work, and they're just using you as like a muse or maybe an inspiration, for the work that they want to do, right? And so it feels a lot lighter like that, and maybe it would feel a lot easier, to get up and put yourself out there if you've, let go of, um, you know of maybe some of the ideas that you have, on sharing what's, I don't know, close to you, dear to you. I just got this feeling too of the way she's holding her stomach, of, how people will say, like, move in silence, keep certain things to yourself. Like when a mother is, pregnant in her first trimester, she usually doesn't tell people until, the baby hits a certain trimester. Um, and I'm getting that now you are at a point where you've passed the first trimester. Like, it's okay for you to tell people that you're pregnant, or that you're expecting, or what you've been working on, or what you've been creating, or whatever it is, it's okay for you. You're at that stage now. Um, and yeah, and I feel like people are going to show you love. People are going to show you love, and as they pour love into you, it's going to help you, um, even more. It's going to help you be more confident even more. Like the way that I'm seeing the light in her chest right here. It's gonna, like that light in your chest. I'm getting a Leo feeling. It's just gonna give you more confidence to share more, to do more. Um, it's just gonna get like the juices going even more. And I see that as unlocking your blessings, right? I feel like it's gonna create another version of you. I just had a really strong deja vu right now of another video that I created. I don't know if I created it or not, but I just had a really strong deja vu. I don't know what that means. I feel like we've been here before. Um, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just gonna leave that alone. The deja vu. Yeah. I don't know what that meant. But anyhow, so that's what you should focus on to unlock your blessings. And another thing with sharing, I mean, like, I mean, there's different ways you can share. I mean, right now, it's social media, right? Maybe having a page, if you've been thinking about it, a YouTube, TikTok, whatever, where you get to, share that aspect of yourself, right? With other people. And yeah, yeah, and you can do it privately as well. Like, I mean, you don't have to let everyone know in your life that that's what you're doing. I know when I first started this channel, I didn't really tell anybody. I just did it because I wanted to do it, and I didn't really feel confident um, to share it with anyone. I just figured, hey, whoever finds it. Whoever's, and it is what it is, right? So maybe it can be something like that. And then now I don't mind sharing it with people, but I was very secretive about it. Like, I just didn't really feel comfortable. I didn't want to be judged. Blah 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 blah. So many different reasons why you could feel held back from sharing. But yeah, but that's the one thing you need to focus on, is sharing it with other people, and I feel like it's going to grow as a result of that. Yeah, so that's your reading group 2. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to see more videos. I will see you guys soon. Bye. Okay, hi, group 3. Those of you who picked this Sodalite and growth, this is your reading on what's the one thing you should focus on to unlock your blessings. Okay, so here we have within the next few months, and the Six of Swords in reverse. So with this, I'm getting is that this unlocking, or there's going to be some growth with you guys in the next couple months, in the next few months. And so with the Six of Swords in reverse, I'm seeing this as like a transition period that's happening within you internally. And with spiritual maintenance, be your own character, I'm getting that like that should be kind of your focus, right? Is just finding balance within this transitional period. And just seeing whatever obstacles or whatever things come on your path during this time as just like something to be open to. Because when I think of growth and expansion is like, being open to the things that come your way, right? And just sort of like embracing them and seeing them from a spiritual perspective, in the sense of like kind of being open to it, whether or not it seems like it's something that you want or don't want, from like, I guess, a logical perspective. And so like it's really just about taking care of yourself, and I guess in a sort of practical way, because when I think of squirrels and they have their nuts here, they're very future oriented. I feel like, I don't know, I see squirrels as future oriented in the sense that they're always doing work, they're always looking for nuts, like burying them for the winter, to prepare themselves, but I mean, they have to find the balance in preparing for the future, but also in living in the present. And so I'm seeing that the focus for you guys is just to take care of yourself spiritually, and just trying to find the balance with, your growth for the future and what's going on now, because you are going through a transition, or you will be going into a transition, a personal transition with changes, death and rebirth, darkness to light, with this card, I'm getting, there's stuff ending, and there's new stuff coming in. We have beginnings over here in reverse as well. And so there's going to be stuff to let go of in this process, right? And with this personal transition here, we have Frog stepping into your power. Don't take a back seat in your story. It's time to step up. And so I just feel like there's something that's going to be unlocked already in the next few months, right? And with this Knight of Pentacles, like with the Knights, especially the Pentacles, like they're very, meticulous, detail oriented, committed. Like there's a slow, like they take a while. And I feel like what I'm getting with this one in reverse is like taking a long time to perfect something, and I think that whatever it is that you're trying to unlock is taking a long time, because something needs to be perfected. Like your growth needs to be perfected. Like you're finding the right balance of being able to take care of yourself, like spiritually, through these transitions, is being perfected, because I don't know, I get this feeling of like once you do step into your power, it's going to be like boom, 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 like go, 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 switch. This has to change, that has to change. It's going to be like very, I feel like destabilizing, right? And I would say I almost said we, like I'm not part of this. I feel like this is your spirit team saying, we don't want you to hold on to what you have in front of you, right? Like we want you, and this is coming directly from your spirit team. They want you, to be able to let go and go with the flow, so that things can go, like move a lot quicker for you. So there has to be a perfecting of this this cycle of like change, of death, of rebirth, of transitions. Like, I'm just seeing this of like a person who is always on a journey. Like, I'm thinking of, before there were airplanes, before there were cars, before there were all of these modes of transportation, maybe the horses, I don't know, but I'm just getting this feeling of someone who is on a long journey and has to keep going, and things are constantly changing. So there's this need to perfect the maintenance work that you do on yourself spiritually, so that you can find like this balance of like letting go into and letting go of what you currently have for something that's coming up in the future, and being able to sit with that, because beginnings can be difficult, right? Like beginnings, like how are you going to approach new beginnings? Like, are you going to approach it with fear of the unknown? Many it's very human and very normal to be afraid of, a new beginning, or when something ends, like the mystery of the unknown, right? um, but there's part of the perfecting it is for you to be able to let go of the past and be able to step into things with enthusiasm. And it could be very challenging. It could be very challenging to transition. I think even for like the best of us, it's a challenge, right? Because I mean, it's just like a human thing. And so this is where, with the spiritual maintenance, I'm getting like there's a toolkit, like a toolbox, for that needs to be developed and perfected. And so it's like, oh, okay, this is how I'm feeling. I'm just going to reach in and grab this one. Or, so even with, this is about like trusting, learning to trust. I mean, it's just like this whole spiritual spectrum of stuff. So there's going to be a transition, within the next few months. Or there's a personal transition, where you are going to be stepping into more of a powerful thing. But I think that the main thing that you have to focus on is your spiritual maintenance and your growth, and finding ways to sort of balance, being human and being a spiritual being, in the sense that being human, you are going to be afraid. But when we step into things afraid, that affects how it's going to manifest, right? So there's a perfecting that's happening here. And so the more that you can work on your growth, and your awareness and your expansion and your maintenance and your toolkit, and perfecting that kit for, these changes and transitions that need to be happening a little bit more as you're going down your path, the more that you're able to perfect it and have that, I think that's when your team will be like, okay, you're ready now, and you've unlocked it, you know? Yeah, that's really what I'm getting, and a lot of this has to do with, like, they want you to trust. I'm getting that with the Sodalite. They want you to trust. It's like, even if, now I'm thinking of squirrels, this is kind of funny. Even if you're preparing for something that, even if you think that you're preparing for something that you may not even use, still prepare for it. Because I'm thinking of the squirrels and how, they're just like running around digging, like, they don't remember where they've hid all these nuts, right? But they still do it in preparation, right? And so it's like, it's just the preparation that's important, like the work that's important. Like sometimes, like now I'm thinking of, having to, say, we don't know why sometimes God tells us to do certain things, right? Like, I'm thinking of like, being told to push something, and then knowing that you don't have the physical strength to do it, but then you're just like, God, you're asking me to push this thing, and it's like, how am I going to get it to budge? And it's falling back on me. And you just think it doesn't make sense. There's no way you're going to be able to push this thing up this mountain and blah, blah, blah. But God's telling you to push. So you just keep pushing, and eventually that thing is removed for you. God removes it for you. And it's like, well, what was the point of me pushing? Like, if you were going to just remove it from me. Or another example I'm thinking about is like Abraham and having to not sacrifice, is that the right word? Sacrifice his son. But then at the last moment, he wasn't sacrificed. So it's like, well, what was the, like, I remember I used to think, well, what was the point of him having to sacrifice? But it's to show like the level of the faith. And I don't know, there's other reasons as to why. And the message here is, I kind of lost what the message is here. Damn it. Anyway, I'm going off track, and I don't want to do that. So that's your reading, group 3. Like, you have to work on your spiritual maintenance through transitions from endings and new beginnings. And, there's some transitions, and these are transitions within yourself, right? Like, how are you going to perfect these transitions so that they are smooth? Like, now I'm feeling the Six of Swords from the Rider-Waite deck, where there's someone coming in and helping you, assisting you, pushing you through this difficult time to something a little bit more calm and peaceful, and then just learning to do that, and just finding the balance within yourself through those processes, because that's how you grow, and just having your toolkit like strong and ready, because there's a lot, I feel like in the future there's going to be a lot of changes coming quickly, and you got to be ready. I feel like this is conditioning. You know how like boxers will be like conditioning, you gotta be fit for it, right? Like, not everyone can run a marathon, not everyone is fit. Like, this is your conditioning, so look at it like that. So that's your reading, group 3. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next reading. Okay, take care. Bye. Okay, hi, group 4, those of you who picked this orange citrine and pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. This is your reading on what's the one thing you should focus on to unlock your blessings. So I'm getting that for you guys. It's like this pride and this peacock, right? Like, I love myself and I see myself in everyone. Self-love, time to celebrate you and all your magnificent light. I'm getting that you guys, even with this orange citrine, I'm getting like a confidence and like a high self-esteem. Like, anytime you guys accomplish something, I'm getting that with this last quarter moon. When you've accomplished something, when you've done something, I think that you should take full credit for it. You should celebrate it. You should talk about it and let go of this idea of, with when I've overshared. Here I even said, when I've shared, I simply say, wait, why am I talking? And I feel like maybe you're not a prideful person, or you're not a person to, pat themselves on the back or sort of like show off, like do this whole song and dance to celebrate your accomplishments, or you're not a person that likes to be in the spotlight when, you've done something, when something went well, when you were successful at something. I feel like for you guys, it's something that you should focus on doing, is to celebrate your accomplishments, your victories, your wins, your triumphs, and be okay with sharing it. With weight, I keep this weight here stands out to me, and it's like, wait, don't just let something die off. Like, say you've done something, don't just be like, oh, okay, don't brush it off, and just wait and be in that feeling of accomplishment, of celebration, of talking about it. And I feel like with this not the right time, maybe some of you guys have a tendency to say, well, it's not the time to celebrate this just yet. Like, maybe when I hit this or that marker, or this or that milestone, then I'll be celebrating it. But then most likely when you get to that milestone, you may not celebrate it either, because and what I'm getting with this too is like, I'm getting a couple things. I just don't know which direction to go first now. There's something about increasing your confidence with talking to yourself, talking about yourself very positively to others, speaking it out loud. Like, I'm getting with the spirit of fire is like, I don't know, I just get like there's like, I'm just feeling is, and this Ace of Wands is like, there's something that's going to ignite, like in terms of your confidence, when when you when you give yourself the same credit that you would give someone else, like when you would celebrate someone else's victory the way that you would celebrate yours. Wait, no, or the other way around. I don't know how that came out. Um, because here it says it's time to release negativity in reverse. Full moon in Scorpio. Um, because when you wait to celebrate something, I mean, obviously, there's probably a reason as to why you would do that. It's either you're not giving yourself full credit, or you don't want to seem a certain way, or you're being you're holding yourself back from doing it, um, and or thinking it's not the time yet to celebrate. I don't want to appear a certain way. This may be like small potatoes for someone else. Maybe there's other stuff I should have already done by now. Whatever, right? That's negativity to be released. And I think that the more that you just love yourself and celebrate your accomplishments, the more confidence that you're going to have, the better you're going to feel. The more you're going to get recognition as well. Like, this is also reminding me of, I don't know if you've heard, I don't know where I've heard this, but, you know, being humble, like in a corporate environment, is not really good for your career, right? Like, you have to be visible. You have to like toot your own horn. You have to praise yourself. I mean, not in a way that is so glaringly obvious that you're looking for recognition, but there's, I guess, an art and a skill to doing it, to displaying your accomplishments and your achievements and putting them in front of the right people, and discussing it. And it's like, just talking about it gives you confidence. It's not like this whole thing of like having to be humble and having to keep your accomplishments to yourself. Like, it does not work. And I feel like maybe for some of you guys this is related to work, because I am getting like these work examples, is like needing to be visible, right? Because this peacock is very visible when it spreads its feathers. Same with this ace, not this ace, this Six of Wands. It's like getting recognition, being in the spotlight, being noticed. You know. I don't know, it's like letting your guard down. I feel like there's something about like having to let your guard down. You know, yeah, for some of you guys, maybe this is a matter of like letting your guard down. Um, Feeling like an uptight sort of energy. Um, like it's not quite clear. Um, yeah, but there's something good about, again, there's something valuable in sharing, and there's different ways to share or to celebrate. I mean, if we're going to use the example of work, but again, this could be applied to anything. I mean, you guys can go out for a lunch to celebrate like something. Maybe you're on a team where you've accomplished something. I mean, there's different ways of celebrating and giving praise where praise is due, sharing that with others, so it does not, because I'm picking up an energy of like not wanting to, like, this is not the right time, or like there's something that's holding you back from really showing off, right? Like, maybe there's a fear of like, I don't know, maybe being arrogant. I don't know. Or just something with, it's not the time to do this. Or maybe I have to accomplish more before um, I, maybe I have to accomplish more or something. So these are sort of negative things that are holding you back. And so that's the message for you guys on what's the one thing you should do what's the one thing you should focus on to unlock your blessings? It's really just about loving yourself, celebrating yourself, speaking good things about yourself, your accomplishments, your victories, putting that out there. It's not oversharing. And wait to move on to the next thing, right? Like, part of, like, because when I'm thinking of this last quarter moon, I'm thinking about, like, the full moon being the manifestation. The last quarter moon is like there's a decline, there's a release that happens before it's another new moon, right? And there's things that happen in that period. One of them is for you to share, right? So I think that's like the waning gibbous moon is when you share your experiences, your things like that. And then the last quarter moon, it's like really starting to decline, but this is where you can celebrate and put stuff out there of that's going to make you feel good and confident for your next cycle, where now you can plant more seeds, and the more confident you are in yourself, like the better it'll be for you to manifest as well. So there's a lot of like benefits to doing this, and certainly if this is work related, or something where I don't know, it doesn't necessarily have to be work, but there's definitely benefits to doing this, just for visibility, not just for your own self and your confidence and whatever, for visibility. It's like the squeaky wheel gets the oil, right? And yeah, so that's the message, group 4. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to see more videos. I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.